Three, two, one. Hello, everybody. We are the Geeks and. Okay. Yawning.
I was yawning.
Sorry, I didn't notice.
Go on, just go on. It's too late now.
1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. Hello, everybody. We are the Geeks and Degenerates. I am Enzo. This is my forever sleepy co-host, Jum. Today we talk about La La Land. Yeah, we talk about another musical which has one interesting ending. I would say pretty bittersweet. It's like atonement all over again.
I didn't expect it.
Right?
Like, first time watching it back in 2016, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I don't want this.
Right?
Redo
Please.
it.
Please. And this is directed by Damien Chazelle, who previously, before this, did Whiplash. And you're like, oh, I wonder what he's going to do next. And after this,
Yeah, it was kind of funny seeing Fletcher back. I was like, don't you dare throw a chair at Ryan Gosling.
Were you rushing or were you dragging? You're like, huh, not again.
Were you jazzing?
Right?
Or are you Christmasing?
But yeah, I do like the opening number. You're like, I guess I'm here for a good time. Because even though it seems very, what do you call it, inconsiderate to just stop in the middle of highway traffic and sing, you're like, you know what? It's a made up universe. I can live with that.
Yeah. And plus, they're in the LA traffic, so they're not gonna.
Yeah, anytime soon.
Yeah.
So they're good.
But I will say though, as they were like panning and these people were getting out of their cars, I started to spot like really nice cars. Like I saw an E30. I saw like I think it was a Golf, and a Toyota Corolla. And I was like, don't you dare fucking jump on that thing and start dancing on it, you son of a bitch. like I was legit. I was like, not that one. Somebody did jump on a Celica, which pissed me off. But I was like, okay, fine. Or they were like sitting on top of it.
Yeah.
It's sorry, but I looked carefully. They didn't dance on the cars there. So
anyway, back to our movie. Isn't car talk? That's fine. But yeah, we were introduced to Seb and Mia. Seb's an aspiring jazz musician who wants to open his own club, and Mia's an aspiring actress who wants to get into acting. And like, they don't have the best first meetups because you're like, wow, Seb really is an asshole.
well, you don't stop in the middle of traffic.
That's true.
I mean, like, yeah, you're dead stop, but once it starts to go, of course, everybody's like, please go.
Please, it's hot. Why?
Yeah.
Well, like, I do like the way this movie is filmed, where it kind of, not kind of, it feels like old Hollywood, how they do the musical numbers. You're like, I appreciate that. I really do.
Yeah. And how they did the cinematography as well. Like, it does remind me a bit of old Hollywood.
Yeah.
And it's nice to see.
Yeah.
It is mixed with modern time. Like, you do have an iPhone here and there.
Yeah.
But then again, you get a hint of like, what, 60s, 80s, 50s, 70s kind of inspired, props, decorations. I don't know, cars.
Yeah. And like, from the two characters, for me at least, like, Mia was the more likable one, where Seb's like, he talks a certain way, and you're like, I kind of don't like you from the beginning. I really don't.
Yeah. Like, yes, Mia is the most likable one.
Yeah.
I guess that's the whole dynamic. It's like he's not supposed to be likable, and he's a bit of a music snob.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's one of those guys who are like, "What? I listened to him before he was famous." You know?
Yeah. And it's like one of the guys that drives you up a wall where you're like, oh, you didn't read Guardians of the Galaxy before the first movie? You know, you're not a real fan. You're like, shut the fuck up. Go away.
And he'll be like, "Oh, all these movies plagued with CGI. I missed it when there used to be practical effects. I don't want anything new." You know, is that
Right?
no? It's nothing wrong with loving what you like, but come on.
Let people like what they like and hate what they hate, you know? And he's also like when Mia was at that party when the other band was like playing 80 songs and he It's like, how dare you make me play, what was it called? Iran, since I'm a serious musician. You're like, what? Who the fuck are you?
the fuck up! You're a band that got hired for a birthday party.
Right? I do.
And excuse me, what's wrong with Iran?
Right? No, but he's a serious musician. He's a jazz musician. You're like, fuck off, please. I'm begging you.
But yeah, anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that's where it started to bloom. Like she does run into him like at one of his gigs at a restaurant where
Yeah.
he's supposed to play Christmas music. That's all he has to do. But of course, his artistic side started playing freestyle jazz.
Yeah.
Well, not really. I think it's the main theme of La La Land.
Yeah.
And she runs into it and she's like, "Oh, that's beautiful," and he just rushes it out because he got fired.
Yeah. I got shocked when I saw J.K. Simmons in another movie of Damien Chazelle. I was like, is he going to shout again?
Yeah, like
Yeah,
seeing him again, you're just like seeing him again, you're just like,
Yeah. It's like, you're not on my fucking. No, I'm kidding. No. But yeah, it starts to blossom. And like, there's one moment where it's funny because Seb is a white guy, but he's explaining the history of jazz to another white person. I heard an article. I was like, I heard an article. I was like, I like seeing a white man explain the history of jazz to another white person. Yes, indeed. Rick, you know what? You know what? You have a point, but sure. For the sake of this movie, sure.
Fine, it's fine. It's just a person informing another person who doesn't like jazz and will like jazz eventually.
Eventually.
I'm gonna go through this chronologically. There's a scene where they do start to mix in hip hop with jazz, and okay, not gonna lie, they kind of paint it in a bad picture here in this movie where it's a little too, I would say, gaudy. Well, like it's a little too like in your face that it's ill change, not the good change.
Yeah.
Because I am a fan of Nujabes, and if you like jazz and hip hop mixed together, he's your guy. And he's also like the father of like lo-fi, if you were to think.
Yeah, I do like the conversation between him and John Legend, where John Legend's like, how are you supposed to reach a new generation when you keep sticking to, or you keep playing to the older crowd? How are you ever going to grow as a genre? Which I do like. I do like the montage where Seb's and Mia's careers start to grow when they're already in a relationship. You see how much of the struggle it is to be a artist in LA, especially, where you're like, I'm trying to book as much as possible, but the competition is fierce. Whether you're trying to set up your own club or being an established actor or an actress, you're like, yeah, the competition is pretty tough.
Yeah, and I agree with Mia here. Like, it's such a pain in the ass when you're like doing your part,
Yeah.
and then somebody just comes in and is like, "Do you want a sandwich?" I was like, "Oh, you have a phone call." I'm like, "Bitch, get the fuck out!"
Yeah.
Like Jesus, like she's having like a legit actress moment where it's great delivery, and then she starts to tear up, and then some person's like, "How you have a phone call?" And I was like, "This couldn't wait."
A few seconds.
Yeah. Like I blame the people in the room instead of them going.
Yeah.
Not yet.
But there's another scene I do like when John Legend and Ryan Gosling have their first like concert, but like Mia sees that this isn't what what Seb wants as a musician.
Yeah, like he's kind of faking a slam. So.
Yeah.
While he's playing. And then when he had like that synth solo, I was like, not gonna lie, that's kind of cringy.
Yeah.
And there were people like doing like the dance, and I was like, I'm not into this.
Yeah, I like how you see Seb's just going through the motions while you see Mia's face being like, I don't think this is what you want. I don't think this is what you really want.
Yeah, and he just goes like, well, you don't like my music? He's like, I love your music. I don't know if you love your music. And I was like, Hitting you with the real questions.
Yeah. And like, Mia's trying to start this like one solo play by herself, and you're like, I don't know how that's gonna pan out in this very, what do you call this, cutthroat world of trying to stand out from the others. You're like, I hope you do well for the sake of this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do like the last dinner scene where they have the argument where he's like, "Do you really like my music? Or are you just pretending to like it?" You're like, "Where'd that come from, huh?"
Exactly. Yeah, like they both start throwing punches, but I will say, like the one that kind of hits the hardest is like how about you? You're an actress. What would you like? Well, I forgot what the line was, but like he compared her to him
Yeah.
in a very negative way. Excuse me.
The one that I remember is like, "Do you just keep me around because you feel better about yourself?" You're like, hold on, what?
Yeah. I get his point and I get her point. I don't know. If you had a choice, if you were to do, say, podcasting, but not like this, it's
Yeah.
very scripted. It's very, you know how daytime television is here in the
Yeah,
Philippines.
like we have
very-
a like a
yeah, you have
telegram.
to put on a face like, wow, bongga bongga talaga ito. Like,
Yeah.
it's like that shit.
You have like a
If you had to do
teleprompter
that,
to
but they
read.
give you $20,000,
Right.
like a gig, like would you take it?
Honestly,
I would. Like, I'll be the most dislikable person on TV. If they pay me good money, like, I'll do it. It'll kill me on the inside, but until I make that amount of money, that's when I can follow my dreams.
right? That's what this movie really is. It's like, how much are you willing to sacrifice to get
Yeah.
what you want? Like, it really shows. Like, I do like the fact that they don't sugarcoat it. It's not like, oh, and by magic, like you brought up TV. It's not like a magical meal that they like. Oh, we're done cooking it. What a trick! No, it just shows you how tough it is to be an artist in LA
Yeah.
struggling. That no anyone barely knows, or be a musician that is playing a genre that hardly anyone listens to nowadays.
Yeah, like, what, actors like Adam Driver who slept in his store for a couple of months
Yeah,
until he got a role.
yeah,
Yeah, that's real life for them.
yeah,
You're homeless until you get a gig.
yeah. That's the job. That's why it's the scene where Seb forgets that he has a photo shoot while Mia has her play, and you can tell that it's bombing. You're like, fuck it, this is painful to watch. I don't like this.
It was. It really was. I love that part though where he's like, bite your lip, bite your lip. You know, like it is the most unattractive. Yeah, that's very shocking, but that the most unattractive Ryan Gosling I've ever seen.
Think of if I was that position, I'm like, bite this bitch. Like, oh fuck,
Yeah.
I'm fired.
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't punch the guy.
Ah, fuck, I'm sued. But it's also hard to see when like the play is done and you hear like people be like, she's not that good anyway. You're like, fuck.
Yeah,
That's
like
rough.
people talking behind her back
Yeah,
as soon as the play was done. Yeah, it's a little bit heartbreaking.
yeah. And then she goes home, but before that, Seb's like, I'm sorry. Is there anything I can do? And she's like, I'm going home. Fuck off.
Yeah.
Bye.
Like she's going home.
Yeah.
And yeah, like she does, and then Seb gets a call like, "Hey, we saw her play, and like, are you in contact with her?" Oh, for an audition? Oh shit!
Yeah.
So
Or like a callback.
well-
You're like, oh, that's
Oh,
a
yeah.
first. And like he goes to their small quiet town and does the honk. You're like, that's horrible.
yeah, it is.
You see the one neighbor's
It's
like,
cute. It's cute, but like at the same time, like if I was the neighbors, I would have thrown a book at his
yeah. You see the neighbor like, shut the fuck up, please. It's a small town. Why?
But yeah, so you know, like I get like Mia's breakdown where she's like she's so tired.
Yeah.
She's been away for 6 years and no luck.
Yeah.
And like,
So
it's just
why
been
bother?
on and on. Yeah, so why bother? Like when she's doing her piece, people would like interrupt her, or some person would just be texting while she's doing her thing,
Yeah.
and wouldn't be paying attention at all. But yeah, that's like very cutthroat Hollywood for you. It sucks.
Yeah. But Seb does convince her to take this one shot. Just like, what?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. It's like, what? What? She's like, calm down, you're gonna get arrested. There's people sleeping.
I think
It's so fucking funny.
the first time I was watching this movie, I was like, fuck.
No, like, Ryan Gosling was unintentionally funny in this movie.
Yes.
It's like he convinced her. It was like, okay, I'll pick you up here at 8.
Yeah.
It was like, be ready by then. And she was like, okay. And then like he comes up, it's 8. It's already like 8:05.
Yeah.
When it starts hitting 8:05, like he leaves, and as soon as he like hits the gas, she like comes in and tries to open the door.
It's like, I just wanted coffee, man. Jesus.
The look in Ryan Gosling's face was just like he was just like, oh shit, my bad.
Oopsie daisy. And then Mia auditions and Emma Stone sings. Until that time I was like,
Yeah, like the mess we made song.
yeah,
But I'm guessing this is my interpretation. Was that song supposed to like indicate her entire relationship with Seb until they broke up? That's what I was thinking. I was like, maybe her singing the mess we made song is her showing us what happens after the audition. It works out, she gets the part, but she's in Paris. Shit didn't really work out between them, and then he broke up.
that's a good point. I think it is more about them than auditioning.
Yeah, I don't think it was about her aunt in
Yeah.
Paris.
Yeah, it's a great song though. And you're like, I never knew Emma Stone had such a great voice. Jesus Christ, what the fuck?
Of course, she had a great voice.
Huh? Oh yeah, the
Nothing.
I gotta pocket full of sunshine. Oh, I broke
Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, huh? So am I still okay? Am I
Yeah,
not-
you're okay
Am I
now.
okay? Okay.
Yeah,
But yeah,
and then we get another one of
Daybreak.
those. The
Yeah.
sorry, yeah, you were saying I was about to say something else for some reason.
no, but we see that. But the next scene that we see is her as the actress. She has a nice car. She goes into the cafe that she used to work at, but now as the big time actress.
Yeah, we should mention that it's 5 years after. You're like, what? Huh?
Yeah. They don't even put like anything like 5 years later or some shit like that. No, I think, but I guess we can indicate that it was 5 years later.
Yeah.
But the weirdest thing is that she gets home, she gets ready for, I guess, a party. But the person she kisses isn't Seb.
Yeah, you're like, oh, okay.
Who's that guy?
And then at the same time, you see Seb living by himself. You're like, oh, okay, sure.
Yeah. And I guess he's still continuing with John Legend with like the tours. I guess that's how he pays off the
Yeah,
club.
for his own.
maybe?
Yeah, for his own club. And like,
Yeah.
Mia and her husband go. Instead of going to the where they're supposed to go, they go to Seb's place, and then they reunite. And you think you see reality. You're like, of like, what would happen if we interacted like this instead of me just brushing you off and J.K. Simmons plays? What would happen
Yeah.
if I just told John Legend like, fuck off, man. I don't want your music. Your synthy music. Your synth jazz.
Yeah. Because it does work out for them eventually.
Yeah.
So it is a little bit upsetting knowing the fact that like what could have been.
Yeah.
And I was like, God damn it.
The end of the dream sequence is pretty brutal. You're like, alright, that's not real.
Yeah.
Fuck, and they have one last glance at each other, and you're like, I don't like this.
Yeah, like, but the thing is that the glance is the whole. We didn't work out, but we made it.
Yeah.
So that was the good part. And now I can't get that song out of my head,
Which one?
especially like City of Stars. I was like,
Yeah. And you're left with this feeling of like, fuck, that's bittersweet. Jesus Christ. Yeah. Kind of more. Is it more bittersweet than Whiplash? I can't really tell. I have to watch them back to back, I would think.
no, like La La Land's bittersweet because like, but it's nice. Whiplash is just upsetting because Fletcher won,
Yeah.
and down the line,
Miles Teller will be the same.
yeah, how that kid like ended his life because he was one of Fletcher's students.
Yeah.
Like he could be the next one.
Yeah, you're like, fuck, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Which is surprising because the next movie Damien Chazelle does is the Neil Armstrong movie. You're like, that's a change of pace, but sure.
With Ryan Gosling as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty good movie. We'll probably do that one of these days, next year maybe, or who knows. But yeah. Bittersweet ending, but it's a pretty La La Land's a pretty good movie in my opinion. I really do like it.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love La La Land. And the music's such a banger.
Yeah.
Like it's something you could play in your car on the way to wherever.
Yeah. As long as you don't think about it too much, you're like, yeah, I can jam to this. But if you think about it too much, you're like,
You'll start
fuck.
falling.
Yeah. Like yeah. But yeah, what would you rate La La Land?
Ooh. That's tough. Because I have no problems with it. Except for I'm not gonna lie, the ending was a little rushed.
Huh. Really?
Like, if you think about it. Like, once it made it, then that's when, like... But then again, you kind of can read a lot within a one scene, which I really appreciated. They didn't really have to explain why they broke up. They just did. But you could tell that it was such a good thing that they did, because now they're both flourishing. They're reaching their full potential. But they're not together. That's the bittersweet thing. And okay, I'm gonna just give it. It's a 9.5 out of 10. Like, it's near perfection, I'll say. But yeah, it's a 9.5 out of 10. But fuck it, it's a 10 out of 10. I like it. I love the music. I love the acting. I love the chemistry between Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone. I was about to say Watson.
I make the same mistakes too. It's fine.
And rewatching it for this review, I was like, shit, I really need to get a body like Ryan Gosling. And it just looks great in clothes. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I want to dress like that.
And like a year after, I think, this came out 2016, so the year after he was in Blade Runner 2049, you're like, damn, this guy's good.
He's literally me. But yeah, so I don't know, it's a good movie all throughout. And it's just watching it with anyone, I mean, friends, girlfriend, family. It's a pretty good movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I really can't find any faults, to be honest. Like, it's a pretty perfectly paced movie. The ending is a bit rushed now that I think about it, but like, that's like the least. Still like the least sinful bit of it, because everything else is pretty good. From the music to the acting to the cinematography, everything is pretty great. So I'll also follow suit. I'll give this a 10 out of 10. I think your dog agrees with us too.
It's always on the endings. Anyway, go on.
But yeah, I know, I'm not sure if Emma Watson or Ryan Gosling have any new movies upcoming soon. I know Ryan Gosling has that Stuntman movie with Emily Blunt. Yeah. And Emma Stone has the Poor Things movie from the director of The Favorite and I think The Lobster?
I never heard any of those three movies. Did you mention movies? I don't know what those are.
Yeah. I think The Lobster is the one with Colin Farrell and The Favorites with also Emma Stone. So yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, that's been our video for La La Land. What do you guys think? Comment down below. What's your favorite either Ryan Gosling or Emma Stone movie, whether that's Blade Runner 2049 or Amazing Spider-Man? Comment down below and let us know. If you like our videos, please leave them a like, subscribe, and ding the bell icon to get notified of when we upload next. We're also on Spotify and TikTok. TikTok to see our best and funniest moments. Spotify to hear us on the go. Individually, I'm Joe does voices on TikTok. I do funny and serious voices. So if you're interested in that, the link's down below. Where can they find you?
Oh, you can find me at JohnGM_ on Instagram. It is my account.
And for now, that's all the time we have. We shall see you in 2024. Bye, everybody.
Ciao.